Okay, so I'm going to show you how Hyper-V works. So Hyper-V is like VirtualBox and VMware. It's where you create virtual machines. So Hyper-V is part of Windows, especially Windows 10 and 11 Pro. So, but you're gonna have to enable it in features. So just type in Windows features, open that. And then you'll see it here, Hyper-V. Just click that box and it will install everything that you need. Right, once that's installed, you open it. So that's your computer. And if you want to create a new virtual machine, just go here. Say new virtual machine. Give it a name. So Windows or Linux or whatever. Next, choose Gen 2. It's got more support and it's got the newest stuff on there, features and so on. Next, give it some RAM. Unclick dynamic RAM. It's a problem. Next, just leave that for now. And then create a virtual disk. Obviously, choose where you want to save it. I have an extra drive. You can leave this. It doesn't use the whole. It's dynamic, so it's gonna just use the space that it needs. Next, install an operating system later. Yeah, you can choose one now in the ISO and it will create the DVD, but just say later and then finish. And that is pretty much that. So let's go to the Linux one that I've created earlier. And then we can go to settings. And this will list everything about your virtual machine. So you can add hardware here. Network adapter and so on, but you don't have to. So in firmware, this is your boot order. So you want your DVD to boot first, or if you have ISO on a network share somewhere, you can set it up like that. But I mean, it's easy with the DVD. Right, and yeah, just make sure it's first. And then if it's Linux, obviously you don't want secure boot, so just disable that. Even for Windows, just disable it. It can stop it from installing sometimes. Memory, you can give it some RAM, 4 gig. I gave mine 4 gig. Right, enable dynamic RAM, so it will grow as you go. As you install stuff, you can enable that. Processor, I just give it 2, but you can give it more, especially if it's Windows. Right, and then down here, here's your virtual drive and here's your virtual DVD. You can actually then just click image file and actually add your ISO file in here. So you can just search for it, put it in here so that it can install. And then network adapter defaults to an internal switch. So I'll show you now how to set that up. Then yeah, that's pretty much that. We can apply and say okay. So if you want internet on these machines, you're gonna have to click on virtual switch manager. So it gives you a default. So you will see only this. It will be a default internal network switch, and so there will be no internet. So if you want to make external, you need to make an external network. So you just click on new virtual network and you choose external and you say create virtual switch. So I've created one here. So it will open this external network and choose your network card. It will be default anyway. And yeah, that's it. Apply and okay. Then you have your external. We can kill that and we can start this up now. And hopefully it will actually start up. So we'll have a little window here. I can just double click there, enlarge it. Whoa. Yeah, start Linux. Am I on it now? Yes. Start Linux Mint XFCE 64-bit. Enter. Yeah, so if you don't disable that secure boot, it's not gonna work. With Windows 11 it's no problem, but obviously with Linux no. So yeah, that's booting up. So that's pretty much all you need to do. I can't think of anything else really. Quite simple. Virtual Switch Manager. Yeah, that's... Let's see how far it is. So it will definitely install. That's pretty quick. I only gave it one process, didn't I? Probably. Anyway, to install Linux Mint, obviously you have to click this and it will download and install the actual Linux Mint for you. This is just a test environment to see how it's going to be. So yeah, if I close this, it actually closes quite quick. Well, it closes the window, but you're going to have to turn it off here. So yeah, it's pretty quick. Sometimes VirtualBox takes a while. And that is virtual... No, that's just Hyper-V. So if you don't want to run any third-party software for virtual machines, then you can use Hyper-V. Good.